Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another paper squishy for you. I've seen all of your requests throughout the week asking me to bring paper squishies back, and as I said in my last video, I am posting these on Fridays only so that you'll still get once a week, because I know people ask for them all the time, and I don't want to overdo them so that I don't want to do them anymore. So yeah, they will be coming and on Fridays only, so I hope that makes sense. Today's video, however, is of the Sour Patch squishy that I did. I actually made this right after Christmas, and to be honest, it's taken me till today to actually like stuff up and have enough foam, because I needed to make a memory foam squishy, so I had foam to put in it, and I only just sculpted it out today. So I finally have this one to bring for you. It was supposed to be last week when I did that dip dab one, but the dip dab one ended up being smaller and had enough foam to fill that one. So yeah, that's why this one is today. I know a few people since then have requested the Sour Patch one, so hopefully this can make you kind of happy. But yeah, I did this one before, so I don't have a particular comment shout out today. But yeah, if you have any requests for any future videos throughout this daily DIY January, then just comment them down below, and if I make it based on your comment, I will of course shout you out and put it on the screen like I have done in a few of my videos this week. So yeah, today I made this Sour Patch paper squishy, and I'm just gonna get straight on into it. So obviously this is a paper squishy, you're gonna need some paper, so I just took an A4 piece of paper, folded it in half, and then I just started drawing out my pattern. So like I said, this is the Sour Patch DIY paper squishy. So I started off with the Sour Patch logo. I decided to do the little strawberries, you know, the little sour strawberries you can get from Sour Patch. I actually really like these. I don't know if we have them in the UK, but I've definitely had them in America, so let me know if you have these in your country. But I just went and drew that out roughly using a fine liner, and then started filling it all in with a black marker pen. So on my pens I do have a fine liner side and a brush tip side, because I just prefer that in my pens. I didn't actually use the fine liner of the black pen for some reason until this point. I was like, oh my goodness, why am I using a normal fine liner when I have one on the end? So anyway, yeah, I just started filling it in with my felt tip kind of side, the little brush end. This is so nice on these pens, honestly, I really enjoy them. These are the Arteza pens. I was gifted these ages ago, but I still use them to this day because they are actually 10 out of 10, and I really like them. You're also able to like blend the colours a little bit as well, so as you can see there with like the sour and the patch, I've put like a darker kind of shade around the outside, and they've kind of like blended in together once they've dried down. Like I made sure both of the colours were still wet whilst I was drawing on top of each other, but they sort of like blend in really nicely. I don't know if they're supposed to do that, but they seem to. As you can see on this squishy, they just did that. So I drew out the little strawberries again using the fine liner to kind of map out where I wanted them, and then filled it in with the corresponding colour. So I used a really nice red colour and then a real pale green as well, and then went back in with the colours to match the original Sour Patch kind of packet, which is the bright yellow as well as that brighter red, and I just coloured in the red around the outsides and then the centre in the yellow. This was quite tricky going in with the yellow because I actually used the brush tip of the pen. I would usually use a Sharpie pen for the logo so that it doesn't run into the yellow, but for some reason I just used the brush tip, although it was nicer to use than a Sharpie pen. The Sharpie probably would have been a bit better and not run into the yellow, which I did have that a tiny bit, but I was really careful not to make any massive mistakes. So I then used the red to do some dots over the yellow once that had dried, and then I just added some shade into each of the strawberries to make them look a little bit more 3D, just to make them stand out a little bit from the actual pack. I then taped the whole thing up, taping up the whole side and the top end of the kind of like paper squishy, so I was left with a bag. And then once I had the tape on there, I just went in and added some extra details with acrylic paint and a dotting tool. I then went in with the Sharpie because I finally found it. This was actually filmed like the day after that I painted the rest, and I actually put faces on the strawberries, and I put a full face on the packet again. I didn't actually like the face on the packet. I thought this was too much and it added too much kind of like going on. It took away from the logo a little bit, so I was actually able to go back in and scratch it off from the tape, which is why I usually put my faces on after I put the tape on, because then you're able to remove it if you really must. So I actually took some scissors and scraped it off. I did film it, but I lost the footage, which is so annoying. But I also drew a barcode out, cut that out, and then stuck it over where I had a few little marks left on there from where the face was, and that covered that up perfectly, so I got rid of that. To stuff my paper squishy, I did the same as I usually do. So I took a 50-50 mix of memory foam scraps as well as toy stuffing, which this here is actually just from an old pillow which I'm using in my paper squishies. And what I'm doing is just making layers of each of them. So I start off with the toy stuffing, or like polyester pillow stuffing first, and make sure I get it right in the corners and right along the edge so that it stays nice and flat. Then I do a nice thick layer of the memory foam, a layer of the stuffing, a layer of the memory foam, a layer of the stuffing, and so on. The reason I have so many memory foam scraps is obviously because I like to make memory foam squishies, and I waited till today that I'm uploading this to finally have some memory foam to fill this squishy up, because I don't like to waste it, and I like to use the scraps of when I actually make a memory foam squishy, so then it uses up those scraps and it also turns it into a paper squishy as well. So it's like getting a 2-in-1, because obviously I already have the foam scraps. Obviously if you don't have that, you can use whatever you want to stuff your paper squishy, but you just want to make sure that it's all nice and full, and then tape up the end where you stuffed it so that it's all nice and trapped in there. So once it's taped up, your paper squishy is then complete. So I'm really happy that I actually took the step to cover up the face down at the bottom with this barcode, because I think it just covers it so well. I'm happy that I just stuck there with the faces being on the strawberries, because I think that is enough for this. Like before, when I had the face on there, it was just too much going on, and I'm just happy that I managed to get it off and just put that barcode over any of the mess that was there. I didn't do the back because I'm very lazy. Let me know if you do the backs of your paper squishies or not. I genuinely would like to know. Sometimes I do it, but most of the times I don't bother. Like you may want to cover it into tape if you don't want it to rip. Like this may rip easier than the one with tape on. I'm trying to save my tape, so I haven't been taping the back, but you can do that of course. So yeah, squishiness wise, I'm going to squish it right now. Much better than that dip dab one, because I waited until I had enough foam to kind of make it rise. It's still rising now, still rising now, still rising. Like, this is a good one. This one has enough foam and enough toy stuffing in there to make it rise really, really well. Like, I don't know if you can ever see it properly on camera. Let me put it like this way and you'll be able to see it. Like, look at that. That is all the foam, all of that kind of stuffing in there, the equal measures of both. That will allow that to happen. Like, oh, this one is a good one. I really like doing rectangle ones and stuff. I used to do all sorts of shapes, but I really like the rectangle ones because you can really put so much more stuffing, so much more foam in there, and actually get a really slow rising one. Oh. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with this one. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you have any requests for any paper squishies, leave them down in the comments down below. If you have any requests for any other type video DIYs that you want me to do, comment that down below as well. Genuinely will read all the comments, may reply to all of them if I can get to them. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. So if you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.